Enchanted beginnings. Autumn had fully embraced the small town where I had just relocated, and I finally found some time to explore my new surroundings. Clad in my warm jacket and scarf, I felt a bit out of place among the locals, who strolled about in shorts and t-shirts. As I walked along the main street, my fingers numbing from the cold, I resigned myself to returning to my cozy home. Just then, I spotted a quaint little coffee shop tucked away from most of the foot traffic. Feeling hopeful, I entered and was greeted by a wave of warm air and the tantalizing aroma of freshly brewed hot chocolate. I approached the counter, patiently waiting for the sole employee to notice me. After a moment, she turned around, her expression shifting from confusion to surprise as she stammered, "Welcome to Enchanted Brew. What can I get for you?" I scanned the menu filled with whimsically named treats like blackberry mystic cheesecake and minty elfin green tea. Settling on a classic gingerbread bliss hot chocolate and a colorful rainbow cupcake, I ordered. The girl hesitated, glancing at me with uncertainty, and asked if I was sure about my choice, explaining that the hot chocolate was a specialty drink and could be an acquired taste. I chuckled and assured her that I adored hot chocolate and was always open to trying new things. As she turned to prepare my drink, I heard her mutter quietly about how newcomers like me might not be ready for that menu, sounding a little frazzled. Curiosity and a hint of irritation bubbled inside me. "Excuse me? What do you mean by newcomers? Is there something wrong with us?" I asked, my tone sharper than I intended. The girl startled and turned bright red, her eyes wide. "Oh. No, I meant new visitors to our little town. We don't see many people here, especially in this shop," she stammered, her embarrassment palpable. I accepted my order and moved to a small table by the window, taking a sip of my drink. The warmth spread through me, and I felt an unusual sense of comfort wash over me. Just as I began to relax, the girl approached my table, her brow furrowed with concern. She gently placed her hand on my forehead, her expression sincere. "I'm so sorry if I upset you. I really didn't mean to." Before I knew it, I had dozed off, the mixture of warmth and comfort lulling me into a light sleep. A few hours later, I awoke in an unfamiliar room, panic gripping my chest as I scanned my surroundings. I tiptoed toward the door, careful to remain quiet. As I reached for the handle, it suddenly swung open, revealing the same girl from the coffee shop, who entered with a tray of pastries and 2 steaming mugs. "Oh good, you're awake," she exclaimed, relief washing over her face. "I was worried you might struggle with the transition. Most humans don't adjust well to the magic here." She guided me gently back toward the bed, her smile reassuring. "Wait a minute, are you saying I've been changed?" I asked, confusion mingling with disbelief. "This is insane. I must have been drugged." "Excuse me, but I'm not a kidnapper. I'm an elf, and so are you now," she replied, annoyance lacing her voice, yet her eyes sparkled with something akin to excitement. I stared at her, not sure if I should laugh or panic. "An elf? As in a fairy tale?" I scoffed, but my reflection in the mirror caught my attention. My ears were pointed, and my eyes glimmered with an odd, ethereal light. "Welcome to the world of magic," she said, her tone softening. "Now, let me explain everything. This town is home to a variety of magical beings, and we've decided to enhance our community by integrating a few humans. You're special, and this was meant to be a wondrous experience, though I understand it's a lot to take in." I considered her words, the weight of the situation settling over me. "So, what happens now?" She sat down beside me and began to talk about the magic that surged through me, how I would undergo a brief period of adjustment, and we would discover my unique powers. Her excitement was infectious, despite my nerves. "I really just want to process everything," I admitted. "Can we take a break? I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed." "Of course," she nodded, understanding. "Take your time. Just know that you're not alone in this journey." As I settled back against the pillows, I realized that this unusual situation might lead me to experiences I could never have imagined. With a newfound sense of curiosity, I closed my eyes, ready to embrace whatever came next. As I nestled deeper into the pillows, the girl, who I now recognized as Elle, set the tray of pastries down on the bedside table and settled into a chair across from me. I took a moment to compose myself, letting the warm scent of pastries fill the air. "Why me?" I finally asked, my voice still shaky. "Why did you choose to transform me? There must have been others you could have picked." Elle's expression softened as she contemplated my question. "It's not so much about choosing as it is about fate. We've been trying to reinvigorate our community, and we look for people who possess a certain spark, creativity, kindness, and openness to the unknown. You strike me as someone who embodies that." "Creative? Me?" I chuckled lightly, a mix of flattery and disbelief. "I'm just an ordinary person who moved here for a quiet life." "Ordinary is a matter of perspective," Elle insisted. "But you know what? Now that you're one of us, you'll learn to embrace your uniqueness, too. You might even discover talents you never knew you had." I remained silent, still grappling with the reality of my transformation. The prospect of magic sounded exciting, yet the uncertainty made me feel vulnerable. "So what happens now?" I pressed again. "Well," Elle began, leaning forward with enthusiasm, "we'll start by figuring out your magical affinity, which tells us what kind of powers you might possess. It usually has to do with the element you resonate with most: earth, water, fire, or air. It can be quite a journey, but I'll be by your side as you explore." My stomach fluttered with anticipation despite my worries. "And how do we do that?" "We'll conduct a series of tests and exercises over the next few days, each designed to tap into your new abilities," she explained. "Don't worry, it won't be anything too strenuous. We'll start small, think of it as a fun adventure rather than a chore." I smiled slightly at the idea of turning this overwhelming experience into something enjoyable. "Okay, I'm willing to give it a shot. Just promise me you'll explain things along the way?" "Absolutely. Consider me your guide," she said, her eyes brightening. "And I'll ensure you're comfortable every step of the way." Elle helped me to my feet, and together we ventured from the room. I still felt somewhat nervous, but the curious atmosphere of the place was intoxicating. The walls were adorned with tapestries sparkling with intricate designs, and low-hanging lanterns flickered like stars above us. As we walked down a narrow corridor, the soft hum of activity grew louder. When we finally stepped outside, I was greeted by a vibrant scene that felt like stepping into a fantasy novel. Creatures of various kinds roamed about, fairies flitted from flower to flower, dwarves exchanged hearty laughs by a nearby fountain, and I even spotted a couple of gnomes playfully arguing over a cart of apples. "What is this place?" I marveled, taking it all in. "It feels like a secret world." "That's exactly what it is," Elle replied, her excitement contagious. "This is our sanctuary. Many of us feel stuck between worlds, the mundane and the magical. Here, we can be ourselves without fear." As we wandered further, she stopped to introduce me to different inhabitants, explaining their roles in the community. Each encounter deepened my fascination, and I began to sense a connection forming within me. "Okay, enough about them. Let's see what you can do," Elle said, her playful challenge nudging me out of my reverie. I blushed, uncertainty creeping in again. What if I can't do anything? What if it's a complete disaster? Then we laugh, and we try again. "Magic is all about exploration and learning," she reassured me. "Plus, I promise you won't be alone if things get challenging." Elle led me to a small clearing surrounded by trees, the sunlight filtering through the leaves in a delightful mosaic of light. "To start, let's try a simple grounding exercise to connect you with the earth," she instructed. Once settled on the grass, Elle guided me through breathing techniques, encouraging me to close my eyes and envision roots extending from my body into the ground. As I followed her instructions, I felt the world around me shifting, like I was becoming part of it rather than just an observer. My worries began to fade, replaced by a profound sense of belonging. After several minutes of focused breathing, Elle instructed me to visualize a source of power within, a color, a feeling. I chose blue, its calming essence resonating deeply with me. Now, open your eyes, she said excitedly. Imagine that blue energy swirling around you like a gentle breeze. As I opened my eyes, I felt a warm rush enveloping me, as if I were truly connecting with the earth beneath me. It was a different sensation, like a spark igniting inside. Try raising your hand and channeling that energy. Elle encouraged. I extended my hand forward, and to my surprise, a gentle flow of light swirled around my fingers. A shimmer of blue radiated into the air, a soft mist rising as I focused. I could hardly believe my eyes, the energy feeling both exhilarating and soothing. See? You did it. Elle beamed, her encouragement leaping to warmth. Grounding is your element, connection with nature. Imagine what else you might discover about yourself. My heart swelled with newfound hope. Perhaps I was not so ordinary after all. Today was just the beginning. With magic flowing through me and a friend by my side, there was no telling what I might achieve within this enchanted world. Feeling exhilarated after successfully conjuring a soft blue mist, I couldn't help but look at Elle, my eyes wide with disbelief and wonder. Did you see that? I actually did it. Yes. That was amazing, she exclaimed, clapping her hands together. You've already tapped into your connection with nature. It's a promising start. Just as I was about to let the thrill wash over me, I felt a wave of self-doubt creeping back in. But what if it gets harder? What if I can't handle whatever comes next? Elle stepped closer and rested a reassuring hand on my shoulder. Each step will come with its challenges, but you have me to help you through. Remember, even the strongest elves started somewhere. In fact, they had their own share of missteps and failures too. I inhaled deeply, letting her words calm my racing heart. Okay. I guess I can try to keep an open mind about it. Excellent. Now, let's see if we can use that energy for something more, Elle suggested, a sparkle in her eyes. Let's try communicating with the plants around us. They're receptive to magic and might even reveal more about your affinity with the earth. We moved to a cluster of trees, their leaves rustling gently in the breeze. Elle instructed me to focus on the blue energy again, channeling it toward one of the larger trees. I closed my eyes and pictured the energy flowing from my being and into the tree's roots, connecting us in a shared moment. At first, nothing happened, and I felt my confidence waver. But just as I was about to give up, I felt a warmth permeate through me, an ancient wisdom tugging at my consciousness. I kept my focus steady, allowing the energy to pulse in tandem with my heartbeat. Feel the life in the tree, Elle whispered, her voice a gentle encouragement. Let it speak to you. To my amazement, I began to feel a faint tingling in my fingertips and a vivid image bloomed behind my eyelids, a vision of sprawling roots and vibrant life. I could sense the interconnectedness of everything around me, the soil, the air, and the energy flowing through each living thing. Suddenly, a sensation of joy washed over me, as if the tree was sharing its stories, centuries of seasons changing, winds blowing, and creatures living in harmony with it. I opened my eyes, breathless, and turned toward Elle. Did you feel that? It's like it was, talking to me. Elle's expression was one of pride and delight. That's the essence of nature speaking to you. This bond will grow stronger with practice. You're beginning to understand how to listen and communicate with the world around you. Encouraged by her praise, I looked back at the tree and reached out a hand, placing my palm against its rough bark. Focusing my energy, I tried to send waves of appreciation into the connection, hoping to reciprocate the gift I had just received. As I did, the tree seemed to rustle its leaves in response, creating a gentle symphony of whispers. It was a strange and beautiful exchange, one that made me feel utterly, undeniably alive. Before I could fully process what had just happened, Elle clapped her hands again. That was fantastic. Now let's see how we can build on this interaction. Each plant and tree has its own essence and energy. They can teach you about balance, resilience, and even creativity. At that moment, I was all in, ready to embrace whatever lessons lay ahead. What do we do next? I asked eagerly, the thrill of exploration coursing through me. Let's gather some herbs from our botanical garden. They each possess unique properties, and we can create a potion together. This will help you learn how to harness your magic into tangible forms. I followed her lead, my heart swelling with joy. We made our way to the garden, where vines draped elegantly and flowers bloomed in vibrant colors. I reached out to touch the petals of a delicate lavender bloom, inhaling its soothing scent. Elle and I picked various herbs and flowers under her careful guidance. This will help connect your energy to your intention, she explained as we collected chamomile, sage, and mint. Once we had enough ingredients, we found a small stone table in the heart of the garden. Then Elle pulled out a carved wooden bowl and a pestle, containing crystals that sparkled in the sunlight. This is where the magic truly happens, she said, her voice filled with excitement. We began to mix the crushed herbs with the crystals, and I channeled my energy into the bowl, envisioning the calming effects I wanted the potion to have. It was a fascinating process. I felt as if I was blending together not just physical ingredients but emotions and intentions. As the mixture began to glow softly, I gazed in awe. Is it supposed to do that? Elle nodded, beaming. Yes. You've infused it with your essence. Now, we just need to set it to simmer under the sun for a while to let the magic brew. As we watched the potion shimmer, I felt a wave of satisfaction wash over me. After a day filled with uncertainty, I had connected deeply with nature and discovered talents I never dreamed I possessed. Now that we've got our potion brewing, let's take a break, Elle suggested, leaning back against the table. You've done wonderfully so far, and we can't rush it all in one day. I smiled, feeling the warmth of friendship blossom between us. Thank you for believing in me and guiding me through this, Elle. I would be lost without your support. She laughed lightly, a melodic sound that made me feel lighter. Believe me, we'll be in this together for a long time. You're part of our world now, and it's going to be one fantastic adventure. As I turned to gaze at the garden, basking in the sinking sun's golden glow, I felt a sense of belonging settle within me. Whatever awaited down the road, I was ready to embrace it, all of it. Continue and end. As I leaned against the stone table, watching the potion shimmer softly in the fading sunlight, I felt a surge of excitement about the journey I had just begun. Each moment spent in this magical realm, alongside Elle, solidified my decision to embrace this new life. We chatted amiably about our respective interests and dreams while keeping an eye on the potion. Elle shared stories about her own transformation into an elf, the struggles she faced, and how she had to learn to control her powers over time. Her tales inspired me, and I found parallels between her experiences and my own life, realizing that the uncertainty I'd faced before moving here was simply stepping stones to this beautiful awakening. As the sun dipped lower in the sky, casting hues of pink and orange across the horizon, the potion began to settle, emitting a soft glow that seemed to pulse with energy. Feeling a newfound confidence, I glanced at Elle. Are we ready for the final touch? All we need to do now is add a couple drops of your energy to seal it, she encouraged. This will make it truly yours. Taking a deep breath, I focused on the calming blue energy I'd discovered earlier. I visualized it swirling within me and directed it into the potion, feeling an exhilarating connection as my essence mingled with the mixture. The potion shimmered brighter momentarily, and I couldn't help but smile. As we finished the last touches, Elle looked at me with genuine pride. That is going to be a powerful brew. You did it. Together, I interjected, feeling a warmth swell in my chest from her affirmation. I couldn't have done it without you. Elle's eyes sparkled. And there's still so much more to learn. This is only the beginning of your journey into magic. each day from now on, I want you to explore, learn, and share your gifts. The community will need someone like you. Someone like me? I asked, the weight of her words settling in. What do you mean? Every person in this magical world has a role, she explained. Your ability to tap into nature and heal will be an invaluable asset. I see how much respect you showed for the plants and the energy surrounding us. You have a gift for empathy, and that will serve you well. My heart leaped at the thought of contributing to this vibrant community. That's a lot of responsibility, Elle, I murmured. What if I can't live up to it? Elle stepped closer, her expression heartfelt. You will, because you're not alone. We're all here to guide and uplift each other. Besides, magic is as much about exploring and making mistakes as it is about mastering it, never forget that. I nodded, absorbing her wisdom, feeling a sense of calm wash over me. The sun was setting, casting a golden glow over the trees. Can we stay here a little longer? I asked, my gaze drifting back to the veins of color in the sky. I want to soak it all in. Of course. This moment is as much yours as it is ours, Elle replied, settling beside me against the table. For a while, we sat together in comfortable silence, basking in the presence of nature around us. As evening approached, the garden seemed to awaken with its own energy. Fireflies flitted about, their tiny lights dancing like stars, and the gentle rustle of leaves filled the air with a soothing melody. I closed my eyes, reveling in the magic of the moment. After some time, Elle broke the quiet. Let's head back before it gets too dark. Tomorrow, we'll start your training properly, and I can show you more about harnessing your powers. I nodded, but as we began walking back, a thought struck me. Elle? Yes, she replied, looking over at me. What if I can't perform the way the others do? What if I struggle while learning? What if I never feel like I belong? Elle stopped and turned to face me, her expression serious yet kind. Listen to me. Belonging isn't about perfection, it's about being open to growth and community. You've already taken the most important step, embracing who you are and the magic within you. Trust yourself, and remember that every elf here once faced difficulties. You're a part of this because you want to be, not because of how well you perform. That is your strength. Her comforting words wrapped around me like a warm blanket, revitalizing my spirit. Thank you, Elle. I really needed to hear that. We made our way back to the heart of the town, where glowing lanterns lined the cobblestone streets, casting a comforting light against the dusk. Several townsfolk greeted us, their faces friendly and welcoming, and I realized how grateful I was to be here among them. Once we made it back to my temporary home, I turned to face Elle. I'm excited about what tomorrow will bring, I said, a smile stretching across my face. Me too. Remember, your journey has only just begun. We'll navigate this together, and I can't wait to see how your magic evolves. With that, we exchanged a warm hug, sealing the day's memories. As Elle walked away, I took a moment to look up at the stars beginning to twinkle against the darkening sky. They felt like little whispers of encouragement, promising endless possibilities. I took a deep, steadying breath, feeling the magic of this enchanted world coursing through me, filling me with hope and purpose. I knew that whatever challenges lay ahead, I would face them with courage, backed by the bond of friendship, a community that had already begun to feel like home, and the beautiful magic that flowed through every fiber of my being. And maybe, just maybe, I was finally where I was meant to be.